You have to play the macro game as well, as it looks like we are heading into game number 2 on board with Team Pop-Tarts. Remember, currently tied, but because they got the win, they do have the kind of tiebreaker advantage. We have 5 more games left to go, as it looks like it's going to be a pretty far split coming out from Pop-Tarts again. This is one of the more greedy ones that we do get to see, where they take No Name, they take the No Name north of Sorting Factory, and Stomps is going to go ahead and loot up the rest of Geyser here.
Curious if we're going to have a zone that pulls very similar, maybe like something like Trials, maybe Train, maybe something over towards Lava Fisher. We know from watching so much of Series E and just ALGS Apex in general that the zones tend to kind of copy themselves after game number 1. So Team Pop-Tarts looting up. Looks like they're going to get that on gold. Nasky in a fight over here towards the fragment side. He's going to get knocked. That's going to be Pride, and the finish comes through with that EVA 8 as well. Nasky just a little too far from his team to get any type of help.
This is surprising for Croissant Warriors. In game number 1, they dropped over at Skyhook. We saw them do that, and were able to pick up an early kill point there, but now swapping things up, going over to Frag West, and putting yourselves in the crosshairs of Charlotte Phoenix, especially in the early game. Not really what you want to do, as it doesn't look like they're going to be able to recover Nasky for some time. There's about another minute left on his banners. Case Swinney is taking some damage as well. No heals, it looks like, coming out for Croissant Warriors, as they are just relegated to construction building. And oh boy, there were some syringes that are on the ground, but he doesn't even pick those up. And here we go. We have information on the ring. It's actually going to be pulling down to the south here, and won't be ending up in Tree. So we'll see how that one plays out. On board with Team Pringles, we saw them, of course, getting into a fight in the early 50-50. We're able to win that one out before Team Cheez-It came in and wiped them. But for the time being, we do have Pringles. They are getting pushed. Phony backed up into a corner. Does a lot of damage, but Aketu will be able to take him out now. And Depressley taking a lot of damage. No armor there left for him. He was only sitting on the whites, as Fury is going to try and cover for his squad. Depressley taking a lot of damage there. They go for the peak. They get knocked. Now it looks like Mimikins will be able to win out this one. Team Pringles, the first squad out in this game.
Surprising that they weren't able to win that 50-50. Fury was not playing as aggressive possibly as he could have on Octane, and then unfortunately wasn't able to finish things off with that Havoc. Again, the Havoc just has such strong recoil, sometimes makes things a little difficult the longer that you shoot that one, as we see what's going on with Team Intel. Metro Panders in 6 over here, trying to lay some shots down on the Wraith going up the balloon. We'll see if that Wraith can get out in time, and looks like they're not able to connect on the final shots, maybe while that Wraith is in the air, but no, none of those shots going to connect either, unfortunately for them. They are going to get away. Nice little zip line to try to find out where the rest of these players are going to be, as well as looks like Applejack's going to get the finish over here towards the Tree side, and this zone is going to pull over towards Tree, so we'll see what Team Applejacks is electing to do. We see Sentinels play this fairly often. TSM likes to hold this spot as well. A lot of zones will end directly on the building over towards the side. If it doesn't end there, there's another ending that is a little bit more central and towards the tree, and there's the 2 houses on the way to Sorting Factory that are there as well, but they don't have a scan yet. So it looks like that's why they're making their way over here. Once Rollers hits this, then they're going to have the information that they need, and they'll immediately run back over towards Tree, because Duplex was in the same exact building earlier, where I feel like this one's going to end.
And they do have Team Intel ahead of them, and so they're going to go for that bubble scan, it looks like, just in case, to play this one cautiously. This is an extremely strong position to play off of Team Cheez-It, making the rotate now, once again, through Sorting Factory. They'll pick up one knock onto Frog Juice. Here comes Rakanishu with the scan. Doesn't look like he actually caught anyone with that one, but he will push up, and he's got one player ahead of him, blocking the doors, tries to go for the heal, and Blue Wolf will fall. And throughout all this, Team Cruelty won't be able to find a team fight win of their own, as Team Cheez-It once again finds a nice timing push here over at Sorting Factory. I wonder if this is planned to continually find fights when they move through here.
Yeah, they've been playing pretty well, and again, Rakanishu coming through, former Gibraltar player on Team Rockstar, now on Team Cheez-It, busting out this Bloodhound. Prodigy Aces and Joey Backett have been a good complement to their play style. They're not too far from, again, where this zone possibly could end. These 2 buildings directly below them is a good spot, but they could play this high ground and get a lot more kills from all the teams rotating over towards Sorting Factory. Now Rice Krispie Treats, speaking of rotation, stuck over towards this thermal station building on the side, where we did see a couple of teams in the vicinity. Stunny looks like he wants to take a different angle, does have to avoid this Arc Star, and as he goes through the portal on the other side, they are going to run directly into that grenade. And guess who it is? It is Team Intel adding the pressure. We saw Team Intel a little bit earlier laying some shots on the players that were going up the balloon, and they're still here.
And it's a fairly even fight as well in terms of armors and everything, but Rice Krispies just get out of there as they took a lot of damage, needed to heal up, didn't have the opportunity to try and go for that reset. The barrels being popped as they get out of there, but Six yeets himself on in. He's got that G7 Scout and is connecting with shots, but he will not be able to get any knocks there. We'll go for the repeak, but they have fully abandoned this position, and Six is putting in so much work with this Scout, but unfortunately, no big damage there to try and finish them off or find a moment to take advantage here. Six really showing off the movement with the Pathfinder. Love seeing it once again. It looks like they ran into Applejacks, and here's the third-party attempt from behind. And so I love that Six was able to take this position. Applejacks, though, still playing over at Tree, trying to find the rest of them as Stunny did go down. And so there's just one player remaining, I believe. Team Intel backing away into the position where they were able to force Rice Krispies, and we've got a crossfire set up. Panders, oh boy, gets the knock onto Crummy. They were the squad that were trying to get involved in this fight, and they are getting punished for it.
Really nice job there from Metro, getting the finish on to Crummy. Saw Six was in the area too. Looks like he elected to grapple out and do a bait and switch with Metro. And now they're in a 2 versus 3 situation. And with the aggression that Six has shown, obviously, I'd probably expect him to grapple right back in there in a couple of seconds when that thing is back up. Instead, he's going to take the high ground, continue to spam these shots to try to get some more armor checks and some more damage on the players running away. But great job. Really nice teamwork coming in from Team Intel right now. Again, just no fear pushing forward on the rest of these players because they know they're weak. And now it's just one player remaining as Kenny's going to go down.
Yeah. The only thing slowing them down at this point is the fact that Six does have to reset, and so he's popping that Phoenix kit, but this is great for them. They started off that engagement before with Rice Krispies with 2 blue armors, but Six has been putting in work with that G7 Scout. It's about 400 damage off until the red Evo. As we join on board with Team Pop-Tarts down here by launch, they have a team ahead of them. The scan comes out, and the hammer points with the P20 putting in work as Designify goes down. Now it's a 1v3 that Pop-Tarts should be able to safely clean up here. Now they have gained control over a very strong building for this ring. They have options for their rotations as well, and they'll have some decent sights on squads that will be rotating through. Team Pop-Tarts still, remember, we have to remember that they are in the lead currently now, I believe, with that 1 additional kill point being picked up, or 2 kill points being picked up through this fight.
Really nice job from Impulsive Dream, shooting that P20 as fast as possible, basically. And it's nice to see when you see someone utilize the hammer points, because if your communication is on point, the hammer points is going to take players down with no shields faster than basically anything. So really nice job, as now we see what Tech's up to. He did pick up the banners with the drone, so really nice job there coming in on Crypto. And we've seen so many different iterations of this team composition. It feels pretty fortunate right now that Tech did decide that he wanted to play Crypto.
Yeah, typically I feel like this is just the case for Rockstar, right? The first 3 games of the day, Tech is going to be on that Crypto. They try to make it work, and it definitely helps them out, or has in the long run there, where he's been able to rat this one out, as we can see on the Tomcat rat cam. He's got the beacons, but he's got the banners, but he needs to find a safe beacon to try and res them at. But right now he's about to run into a number of squads. There are still a lot of players in the area. As you can see, Team Razor are here as well, not too far away from him. And we'll see. That might just be extra kill points for Team Razor here, who have not found any early action. Again, with I believe it was Croissant Club. I've already forgotten. They change their name so often.
Croissant Warriors.
Croissant Warriors. There we go. I'd much rather join the Croissant Club though than the Croissant Warriors. If there's like a subscription box for croissants. But yeah, Team Razor, we're just going to slow play this one now again, committing to the edge here, as Impulsive Dream will be able to finish off real Stormy. We're down to 15 squads, but NPL getting pushed, and Bambino was not ready for that. The Mimikins, we picked that one up. Applejack's coming in for the third party, though. They've got the Arc Stars in. It's not deep enough, it looks like, to really try and punish them. They will be able to get the res, but the HP isn't quite there. Applejack's, though, still playing this one disciplined. We'll just back away off of this one, realizing that the res did come down. You have Duplex still hanging out in this building, looking to see if he can find anything, but again, he will just back off.
A lot of action now starting to unfold. A surprise that teams haven't actually made their way over towards the tree. It's like they don't know where the zone is at this point, but a lot of different gatekeeping and coexisting going down. We'll see if Team Razor is going to be able to build on the momentum that they have with their loot right now. If they want to take the rotation off the back, they could, but they are being hit from the side. Looks like a team is already holding that choke, so there's 3 teams on top of Team Razor right now.
And we see this position being challenged so often on, especially that choke. Can be extremely strong. Awkward Turtle is the first one to fall down. Bubble has been used as they want to take advantage of this knock. Allows them to reconnect inside the building. Where is the rest of this team? Muffin's chasing them down, but he falls as Nacho picks that one up. Here's Hakulo, though, getting a re-knock, and they need to finish this one off as the third party will come in very shortly here. Hakulo surviving with little HP, popping that Phoenix kit for the time being, and I'm surprised that the trigger hasn't been pulled yet from this squad that was playing over by the choke.
I thought that they were going to go and throw the defensive bombardment over towards the side where the choke is too, so they can fend off the third party. They should know, based on what you're seeing in the kill feed, that Team Razor's down a player. So this is the perfect time to third party, and if I'm Team Razor and this other team hasn't pushed yet, I just immediately send it on them because, personally, it doesn't seem like they know what they're doing.
Team Cheez It, though, in a fight over here at By Sorting Factory. Joey Blackout playing on the outside, has to be careful, getting shot over by Tree. Now he is the one that swaps position with the rest of his squad, and good defensive hold coming out from Cheez It here, holding down the line for the time being. They can play this position for a little bit. The Beast of the Hunt will run out for Rakanishu shortly, so this squad might make another attempt to push them, but for the time being, they have at least put a stop to them, and so things will slow down. In round number 3, though, we're down to 13 squads, 33 players remaining, so a lot of teams currently damaged right now. As Prodigy Ace is getting aggressive on this Wraith now, wants to try and find this squad. I was putting some pressure on them just a moment ago.
Yeah, this has been the spot, again, where you're going to pick up a lot of kills throughout all of this, and there's the res coming through, too. Not quite sure who that's going to be. But it'd be pretty funny if it was Tech. I'm not sure if he's still in the game or what he's been doing, but he may have just bounced all over the place to find out. Let's see, 1 player comes out, so it looks like 2 players actually flying from the sky, so it could have been right there as Team Cheez It. The only thing they have to be worried about at this point, Jamerson, is how much ammo they actually have, because they're in such a great spot. Being able to pick up a couple of kills right here is CLT, as they're going to just go and put that kunai right in the back of Crummy.
So it was Team Rockstar, it was Tech that was able to get that res, and it's going to be Charlotte Phoenix who ultimately benefit off of that one. As he's been spotted out, Kenny going down. And they do have one more player here in front of them. Bronzy took a lot of damage here, and there's a second playing right behind that building as Pride and Bronzy are taking away to that gas. Bronzy's still playing underneath, and he's taking so much damage. He might have taken a full connect there from the barrel, but they are going to continue to push up, using up their utility here. The Arcs are to break the door. The Caustic is still slowing them down, and now it looks like they are just going to back away from this one. There's just too many threats in the area. As you can see, 4 hostiles detected, so they know at least 2 squads, and they're going to bide their time for the time being. They already have at least 3 kill points, so they don't really need to force the issue here.
All they need to do is run around and try to hit some more scans. Looks like Tech is going to be ratting it out on the Tomcat Rat Cam, and he's not in that bad of a spot. So he's actually gotten his teammates banners twice. We'll see if he's going to be able to do that a 3rd time. And I believe he is in more than enough range to actually do that. But I don't think that there's a respawn in the vicinity, so he's not even going to bother trying to give away his position. As we take a look at what Croissant Warriors are doing, it looks like, again, Nasky was out of the game super early, so it looks like he elected to back out and probably continue to warm up. As we do have Rambo and K Swinney in the sorting factory area, in one of the last remaining buildings on the edge over here in terms of these tiny buildings, but it looks like Midnight is going to get the knock right there. And Muffin's now the last player alive for Team Razor. They are going to have him spot out behind the blue trailer as well, which is in the zone, so that means that there's going to be a lot of focus on this fight.
Hakulo just got thirsted as well, and they're going to lose their Gibraltar in just a moment as Muffins went for that peek. But he still has the Beast of the Hunt running for a moment and runs out just as he gets behind cover, though. And it's just the top 12. They have picked up some kill points, but not going to have as many of the placement points behind it unless he can survive here. Charlotte Phoenix making a play now, going for the roof of this building. They do have Team Cheese ahead of them. We saw them playing the offices just beforehand. Prodigy Aces go ahead and back up to the rest of his team. Seeing why that position is so strong, but the ring pulls away. It goes all the way into tree. Muffins is able to pick up one more and taking out Oi Senpai, gets that kill point and secures top 10 for himself. So getting a lot of value now here as the Rat. And I mean, there's still a moment for him to try and recover these banners. Maybe he finds a replicator to try and get a mobile respawn beacon, but here's Team Intel pushing up, getting the re-knock as well. Picking up 2, but he will fall for his efforts. 6 tries to back him up, but he gets thirsted by Blight. So now Team Intel are down to a duo here, but Team Intel might be able to get the punish, and they will, picking that one up. And so now they'll be playing a man down here in the top 8 as Team Cheez are making their move onto this car. Gotta be careful as they go in for the peaks. Do they have any utility? Do they have any nades to try and flush them out? Impulsive Dream has the PK in the back pocket. It is a 1-for-1 exchange, but it's now down to a 2v1. Team Pop-Tarts will survive the push and be able to get the res onto Impulsive Dream.
Nice shots coming in from Bronzy as well. And this is the zone that we were talking about. It's going to end on those buildings where Duplex was earlier in the game. Is now CLT starting to make the rotation. Bronzy going to have to just bob and weave here. 30 seconds till this zone is going to move. Team Applejacks now takes this high ground, and they've been here for quite some time. This is the team that actually lands trees. So this is kind of the home court advantage zone that they were looking for, as Aves is going to take a lot of damage over towards the side. Finish coming in for Duplex as well. The heals coming back in, and they should be able to find the final player over here with that scan, and they do. Looks like that player is going to be taken down here very shortly. So now that this is done, focus on the rotation and the teams that are going to be in front of you, because there are going to be a lot of teams going into round number 5. 6 squads remaining, and still some rats. Most likely Tech going to be alive somewhere.
Yeah, I believe, yeah, he was playing underneath the office that we were talking about over at Sorting Factory, just hanging inside a ledge somewhere. And he hasn't been scouted out quite yet. A lot of teams have been involved in their own fights, and so the attention not being drawn over towards him. Muffins will finally fall, but throughout that engagement, Stomps with the 30-30 repeater was able to get the knock onto Aves. Luckily for him, he's got the gold bag, and so he will be brought back up with a lot more HP. Now Applejacks with a nice position here, basically the ultimate high ground. They can slow play this for the time being. A nade coming in. We'll see if it connects, and there's not much cover for them. Luckily, bubble is there. And we have the next ring pulling on over, back down towards those buildings on the low. What is going to be Team Applejacks's movement here? Is it looks like they're going to rotate to the south side and really try to play for this high ground angle. See if they can do it. They do have the bubble. They have a lot of utility, but I believe that's Team Pop-Tarts. They're still playing inside the car, and so our 2 lobby leaders might be facing off very shortly here.
Yeah, and it looks like Pop-Tarts still has plenty of loot, plenty of resources too, so they'll have a lot of batteries. Nice shots coming in from Stomps. Does rip that player down, and there's the armor swap if he wants to get back into it. Instead, he's going to elect for some cells. Impulsive Dream also takes a decent amount of damage, and you can see they're barely not in the zone here, so they can't play exactly where those armor swaps are. They're going to have to probably play the ledge in front of them or make their way up just a little bit more. Don't be surprised to see multiple teams get on this building, though. Probably a team underneath, a team inside, and a team on top as the other teams are on the outside.
They just have a trophy case there. These are all of our kills. These are all of our armors. This Charlotte Phoenix making a play, push in, taking out Metro. They are now down, I believe, to a solo at this point. And we have 5 squads remaining. Don't know if we could check in with Tech if he's still alive or not. Because we do have, it looks like 2 rats left in this lobby. But Charlotte Phoenix, they have priority. They have control over the main building and is safe in this next zone.
And now Applejacks is trying to make their way in. You can see Aves takes a lot of initial damage. He's going to have to pop the battery right there. Bubble is going to come down. We'll see if he likes some med kit inside of that one so he could fast heal. But the other team is adding pressure. That's going to be Team Pop-Tarts as the first knock is going to go on to Lucas. Looks like Abe's not electing to hit that med kit, still feels fairly healthy after hitting the battery. But both the players from Team Pop-Tarts are going to be stuck in the building while that's happening. Excuse me, in the truck. While that's happening, Applejacks takes a rotation over towards the side where this rock is. It has a decent amount of cover as CLT made their way outside the building and Pride goes down. So Applejacks fighting two different teams while not even fully healed and still doing a great job of doing so.
Throughout all of that, Charlotte Phoenix are also knocking them back, but here comes the push now. Applejacks try to turn their attention back on over to Pop-Tarts. They will get the knock on to Impulsive Dream, and it's just a matter of time. They're slowly choking them out. They're still stuck inside as well. You can see just one left for Team Pop-Tarts inside. They should be able to finish them off, or at the very least, secure these thirsts. Duplex has to be careful, trying his best to climb around the damage that is coming down. And now with 40 seconds left to go, Charlotte Phoenix were able to recover throughout all of this. We still have 3 full squads remaining here, 10 players left too. A lot of damaged squads as Applejacks now healing up just in time, as well as we have 25 seconds before the ring starts closing. And it looks like Applejacks might be trying to change up positions. No, Charlotte Phoenix pushed out of their building. There was a moment of weakness for them to try and take this up, but instead the crossfire being set up for Aves, trying to punish Charlotte Phoenix even more.
They're so worried about getting this Gibraltar out of there. All they have to do is send 2 players towards them at the same time, but they know the amount of armor swaps that are there. It looks like the PK not going to connect there for Duplex. This one player is doing such a good job of holding off multiple players from Team Applejacks. Williams hit a Phoenix kit. Looks like he's going to have to go for the battery, but just 1 tick of damage from the storm, and he's absolutely done. So he's going to try to slow heal, syringe, walk up on the way. They do have the portal if they want to get over towards the other side, but that zone is closing directly on them. It's 6, the rat, underneath the building, as anticipated. 1 team inside, 1 team underneath, and there it is. Applejacks takes the roof.
There should be one more rat throughout all of this. It's a 3v3v 1v1, and every team fight that you can survive just gets you so many more points here. But Applejacks playing the roof now. This one's going to be a slow one. It's really about both Charlotte Phoenix and Applejacks trying to figure out where the last rats are, and well, they have the tools to do it. They've got the Bloodhound there, and the scans do come down. But it becomes a little bit more difficult to try and push out, because what happens if you take too much damage? Charlotte Phoenix won't be able to hear that and try to take advantage. But Applejacks slow playing this once again. Ring closing on everyone. We got 40 more seconds here. You can see both teams trying to methodically approach this, Tom.
This is kind of weird, champ, because it actually ends in the building. So we'll see if they end up going for a heal off here, if everybody actually fights on the outside and has some sort of gentleman's agreement that we're not going to go to some sort of heal off and have the Wraiths hit the queue. So now everybody has to make their way outside the door, and there you see it. The zone actually is going to end directly outside in the middle of the building. So this is huge for the players that are on top of the roof here. That's going to be Team Applejacks. PK doing some serious work. Duplex realizes that player's trapped inside. That's going to be Bronzy, and that's all she wrote is Applejacks putting in work.